Hey guys, today the careful critics by Nerds and Jock is going to present you the MCU series What If that recently got released. This What If series, we should give an introduction about what the series is. क्या है असली में लोकी का सीरीज जहाँ ख़त्म होता है where all the timelines are bombed and the timelines get destroyed and branches of timelines come out. ये वॉट इफ सीरीज है इस ब्रांचेस ऑफ टाइमलाइंस के बारे में जो जो इस ब्रांचेस ऑफ टाइमलाइंस के अंदर हो रहा है. This is the story about all the events that is going to take place within the branches of all these timelines and multiverse that is going to happen because of the nexus event that was created because of the bombing of all the timelines. The first episode of What If starts with the story of Captain America. Why Captain America? Yeah, we'll get there in a moment. The first story starts with where we see that our young Steve Rogers, or the pale, or the very skinny, बहुत पतला भाई, खतरनाक पतला Steve Rogers is being dragged to the place where he is about to be a super soldier. Howard Stark is there, and all the people, all the scenes that we have known from Captain America are there. Instead, no, sorry. I forgot to mention one thing. When the scene starts, it starts with the Watcher saying, the Watcher is a being who sees everything and everything that is going on in the universe. Everything. He is the person responsible. He's not responsible for what is happening in the universe, but he's responsible to see what is happening in the universe. And if he needs to intervene, he will intervene. Otherwise, he won't. Now, back to the place where we started. Here, the Watcher is saying that one event or a dialogue or just one thing that created a different timeline and a different superhero and a totally different person. In this place where स्टीव रॉजर्स, जहाँ स्टीव रॉजर्स को वो सुपर सोल्जर का सीरम देके उसको कैप्टन अमेरिका बनाया जाएगा, इधर द सेम थिंग वाज गोइंग टू हैपन. इंस्टेड जहाँ डॉक्टर बोला था मूवी में पैगी कार्टर को ऊपर जाके वेट करने के लिए, वो ऊपर जाके वेट किया था. देन द हाइड्रा का एजेंट का बॉम्ब उधर ही ऊपर फटा था. पर इधर जब पैगी कार्टर को बोला गया, डॉक्टर ने बोला कि पैगी, व्हाई डोंट यू गो अप and wait in the waiting chamber, she said, no, I'll just stand here and I'll keep watch. उसने ये बताया तो सब जो मूवी में जो ऊपर वेटिंग चैम्बर में थे सब नीचे ही खड़े थे, और हाइड्रा का जो एजेंट था वो भी नीचे ही खड़ा था, बॉम्ब उसके बगल में ही था. तो इधर हाइड्रा का एजेंट जब बॉम्ब फोड़ देता है, when he blasts the whole bomb, the experiment is disrupted and the doctor is killed in the process because the Hydra agent kills the doctor eventually. And हम लोग का पैगी कार्टर इसको पैगी कार्टर बचाने जाता है डॉक्टर को, पर नहीं कर पाता. हम लोग का स्टीव रॉजर्स, पतला स्टीव रॉजर्स निकाल के पैगी कार्टर को बचाने जाता है, पर he ends up getting shot near the abdomen. So what Peggy Carter does, Peggy Carter shoots the Hydra agent. खत्म, उधर ही वो खत्म हो जाता है. And Howard Stark says that we are going to lose the whole project. तो अभी Peggy सोचता है हम लोग का स्टीव तो इधर से he is bleeding out and he cannot do because he is injured. So she has to do something. So she hops onto the machine and tells Howard Stark, Tony Stark's father, to start the process. So the super soldier blood goes inside, the super soldier serum goes inside her, and the chamber closes, and she is enhanced into a super soldier, or she becomes Captain America or Captain Carter. She was named Captain Carter afterwards, but still Captain Carter. And as we can see, it was in that kind of a century, not century, it was a long time before anything happened. The colonel, or the person responsible for this experiment, he started saying, Peggy Carter, it was nothing. Women are not meant for job. Women are not meant for fighting war in front lines. It was an utter failure, as people were that times not supporting women and all. So now what happens? They start taking blood from Peggy Carter, which can cause the creation of other super soldiers in the near future. Let's not talk about that. Let's mark that thing. अभी क्या होता है, पेगी कार्टर को जब ये मिल जाता है, इधर in the movie it was shown that they never knew about the Tesseract thing and हाइड्रा के पास जो टेसरैक्ट है, पर इधर इन लोग को पता रहता है कि हाइड्रा के पास टेसरैक्ट है। जहाँ फिर से हाइड्रा का वो ओपनिंग सीन, जहाँ हाइड्रा गाड़ी करके कार से आता है, गाड़ी में आता है, गाड़ी में आके रुकता है उसका मर्सिडीज, जहाँ मर्सिडीज बेंज का सिंबल, जहाँ उधर हाइड्रा का सिंबल रहता है। He comes to the place where to get the Tesseract, as it was mentioned by the Norse mythology about the Tesseract। उधर आके Tesseract ले लेता है, और हम लोग का इधर Peggy Carter is getting irritated because she is not being able to go and get the job done, because she already knows something bad is going to happen, as Hydra is going to do something with the Tesseract. So they try to convince the colonel, and but they couldn't. Howard Stark, Peggy Carter tried to convince the colonel, but they couldn't. So in the bar while drinking, Howard Stark comes with a uniform and gives it to Peggy Carter with a shield, which is totally different from that of Captain America. पूरा different है. ब्रिटेन का फ्लैग रहता है, थोड़ा ब्लू बाहर में रहता है, and tells her to go and attack the place where the Tesseract is being transported to the Hydra Headquarters. तो अभी हम लोग का पेगी कार्टर जाता है, डायरेक्ट अटैक कर देता है, and she is surprised to see her strength because she did not know how much strength she really had. She just flips the car with her shield and she's fighting. The animations of these fightings are great. It's just great. Nobody expected the animations to be so good, but it was great. And now what happens? Peggy Carter gets the person, the mastermind in the Hydra, the big fat, the head kind of a guy who was behind Hydra's mastermind plan. Here Peggy Carter is played by the same person, Haley Atwell. All the people are there except America. It's like Nick Fury is also there, which was played by Samuel L. Jackson. Hawkeye is played by Jeremy Renner. Dr. Erskine by Stanley Tucky. Howard Stark by Dominic Cooper. Dum Dum Dugan, Neil McDonough. Bucky Barnes by Sebastian Stan. All the people except Captain America or Steve Rogers, because our main character was not there for voice recording. So that's a different thing. Then when they get the Tesseract, here a different kind of a thing happens. As we already know, Iron Man was the first person, or Robert Downey Jr., who became Iron Man, or the son of Howard Stark, who created Iron Man, the suit, and the what is that called, the arc reactor. Everything related to Iron Man was created by him. But in this series, as they get the Tesseract, here a suit is created from there. Howard Stark creates a suit that is very similar to that of the Mark I suit Iron Man had created back in the first movie when he was captured by a group of terrorists. So it's the same thing. Now what happens? Bucky is again captured by the Hydra agents or the Germans, and Captain Carter goes to save them. So Captain Carter goes there and saves all the people with Bucky Barnes and his teammates. So they are like, when did a woman know how to fight like this? Okay, so the famous scene of bashing the door open and shooting, that scene is there, but it is instead switched by that of Captain Carter or Peggy Carter. Even the famous bike scene, that is there with the shield putting in front by Captain America, the same scene is still there in the water movie series. So now what happens when they are running towards the field and when all the tanks are attacking Peggy Carter and the teammates of Bucky Barnes, and all, suddenly the air support, Peggy Carter calls for air support, and Steve Rogers inside the Mark 1 suit powered by the Tesseract comes flying and lands, known as the Hydra Stomper, lands and starts saving them. So that was a very badass scene, to be honest. Now what happens, Steve Rogers comes out of the suit and he says the same thing that was done in the movie where Bucky Barnes says, let's hear it for Captain America. Here Steve Rogers says the same thing, let's hear it for Captain Carter, and everyone starts cheering. So they go back to the camp, and the same mission, the train mission that was created in the movie where Bucky falls down and loses himself as in he was captured by the Hydra agents and made into a Winter Soldier. The same mission is carried out here, and they zipline through the train. No, they zipline to the train. They zipline to the train, and they are trying to find out what is going on inside the train or who is inside the train. Steve Rogers, inside the suit of Hydra Stomper, tries to stop the train from the front while all the other people ziplines and on top of the train, where Bucky Barnes slips and was going to fall, but Peggy Carter or Agent Carter saves him, and Bucky gets up and says, "Thank you for saving me. I thought you almost ripped my arm off." That's a reference of Bucky not having an arm, so Winter Soldier. So instead here Bucky dying. Here Steve Rogers inside the Stomper is captured in the bombardment of the whole train. पूरा ट्रेन फट जाता है, गंदा तरीके से फट जाता है, and everybody saved except Steve Rogers. Or we come to know that Steve Rogers is actually alive and all, so that is, I'll tell you later. Then Peggy Carter is very sad because he couldn't save Steve, so they understand that something is going to happen in the Hydra headquarters. So, and back in the Hydra headquarters, our man, the Red Skull, is doing the same experiment that was done by Nick Fury in the future to get Loki out of the portal system, the beam through the Tesseract, and the portal opens. Now what happens here? अभी इधर क्या होता है, ये लोग अटैक करते हैं, पैगी कार्टर और ये लोग, हावर्ड स्टार्क है, आयरन मैन का पापा है इधर, उसके बाद बाकी बांड सब इधर अटैक करते हैं हाइड्रा हेडक्वार्टर्स में, जहाँ इसने पोर्टल खोल के a tentacle monster comes out. So nobody actually knows what the tentacle monster really is. Many theorize it as to be the entity or the being that devours time or rules time, or many things. There are very different types of theory. The devourer of time or something like that eats that rules on time or something, or it can be a reference to the Hydra that comes out. The Hydra, as the name Hydra is there, so Hydra also has tentacles that comes out from there. So now when they come inside the lab, Steve Rogers is found downstairs in the lab by Bucky Barnes, and the Tesseract is removed from the suit because it is used to power and bring that giant monster. And while Howard Stark and Peggy Carter goes and sees the monster coming out from here, in the movie the Red Skull dies in a way by holding the Tesseract in one hand and getting evaporated or vaporized into the space. But here what happens, the tentacle that he summoned or the monster that he summoned grabs the Red Skull and crushes him. खत्म, उधर ही उसका मौत हो जाता है. तो अभी क्या हुआ कि हम लोग का Peggy Carter is trying to fight here while Steve Rogers gets inside the suit, charges it up, and goes to help Peggy Carter. But as it does not have the Tesseract inside, it cannot hold the power for a longer time. So it goes there, helps Peggy Carter or Captain Carter to fight with the monster, where Captain Carter is fighting with a sword and a shield in a very badass way with the help of Steve Rogers. Now when this fight is going on, Steve Rogers loses power while saving Bucky Barnes when the monster was almost going to kill him. And he comes and lands right in front of Peggy Carter, where Peggy Carter or Captain Carter is trying to push away the monster inside the portal. And Howard Stark was not being able to understand anything because everything was written in German. But he still tried to figure out how to close the portal. Slowly it was closing, but the monster was not going. So Peggy Carter had to push the monster literally inside. पूरा घुसाना पड़ रहा था बहुत एफर्ट देके. तो अभी क्या हुआ, देते देते घुसा रहा था और पेगी कार्टर को समझ में आ गया कि she has to go through the portal, otherwise this monster is not going to happen. And the famous line from the movie also, where Captain America had to dance with Peggy Carter. Here Peggy Carter says the same thing to Steve Rogers, that I owed you a dance tomorrow Saturday. So now when Peggy Carter goes through the portal and Captain America is devastated as he lost Peggy Carter in this campaign of his. And on the other side, Nick Fury and Hawkeye are standing, and Peggy Carter comes out with all the tentacles first falling, and she comes out with sword in one hand and shield on the other, standing. And Nick Fury looks at and tells her to calm down. And from the side, Hawkeye says that is Captain Carter, and Nick Fury says the battle is over. And here, so Captain Carter or Peggy Carter says the battle is really over, we have won, and the story ends right there and there. So that is how we know how messed up a timeline can be through one dialogue or a series or one event, just by saying she didn't want to go upstairs and wait. So now let's see what comes up on the second episode, or what is going to happen in the second episode of the What If series. And as this is an anthology, most of the series are not connected to each other, or how our director or the author connects all the stories together will be an amazing way to watch it. Thank you for watching our videos. I hope you guys liked it. And if you want to watch our previous Careful Critics versions of Loki, I'm giving you the links down below. And if you like our channel, please give it a like, share and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.